all set.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and call the Orangevale Recreation Park District board meeting for February 16th. It's a regular meeting. The board of directors may take up any agenda item at any time, regardless of order. Listed action may be taken on any item on the agenda. Roll call.
Stickney?
Here.
Moraz?
Here.
Bernbrug? Not here. Montez?
Here.
Fresno here. Mary?
Here?
Jennifer? Here. Horacio?
Present.
Jason? Here. Melissa?
All right, we'll go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as written?
I move we approve the agenda as presented.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any person may address the board upon any subject within the jurisdiction of the Orangevale Recreation Park District, with each speaker being limited to 3 minutes. However, the chairperson can impose reasonable limitations to the maximum time per person and per agenda item to allow the board to complete its business. Any matter that requires action will be referred to staff or committee for report and action at a subsequent meeting. 6A minutes. Does anybody wish to speak to the board, or?
I move we approve the minutes as presented for the regular meeting January 19th, 2023.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. I think we have,
We have to vote.
yeah, we have to vote. And I'll abstain right off the bat, because I was not at the meeting.
Okay.
Stickney?
Yes.
Okay. Moraz is yes. Bernbrug is just walked in.
Yes, so you'll note that she's here at 6:34.
I moved you over so you could help her out.
Okay. Lisa?
At least,
Yes.
yeah, I know, but she
And Fresno, yes.
had a
Yes.
incident Monday, so.
Okay.
All right,
So that'll be 402.
No, 3.
did you
One
want to
absent, one
vote?
abstain.
Correct.
Vote on the minutes?
Yes.
Yeah, I approve.
Okay.
Okay.
You can add me to.
Okay. So
Yes.
then,
Okay, that's, they'd like us to sign this for historical purposes, your name, right there.
3011.
Just for the record,
Lisa,
Sharon
or-
Bromberg has arrived
she just voted,
at
so now
6:34.
it's 4. 4, 1 abstention.
So we've got minutes done, so we're now on to correspondence.
Yeah, the correspondence is the advertisements in the Orangevale View promoting our programs. We appreciate that, and we know it helps our registration.
Okay. Any other comments on correspondence? That's it?
That's it.
All right. So then we'll go ahead and consent calendars. Can I get a motion to approve them as written?
I move that we approve the consent calendar, items 8 to 8.3B as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second by Ms. Moraz. All right, well, let's go ahead and vote then.
Moraz?
Yes.
Bernbrug? Yes. Montez?
Yes.
Fresno, yes. Stickney?
Yes, so it's 5-0.
0.
Okay, I'd like to make a minor comment on it. Can we start going to Kenneth Groves and start deducting some of the money? We need to start charging them.
Yes, Horacio and I have talked about that. He's got a project scheduled for Kenneth Grove coming up.
Well, I know, but there's like the engineering money and a few other, we haven't hardly have deducted anything. So just
So far,
Just
it's
a
only been,
request,
only
just a
been water, I
request.
think, is the only deduction so far.
We haven't done that in like years.
Okay, so then we're going to go on to the non-consent items, 9A. Can I get a motion to it?
I move we approve the non-consent items from the general fund for 9A.
I'll second it. All right, so we need to vote on that.
Bloomberg,
Yes.
Montez,
Abstain?
President, yes. Stickney,
Yes,
Morass.
Yes.
so it's 3-0 with one abstention. Okay, the standing committees.
Director Stickney, I just want to bring up one thing as far as Kenneth Grove goes. We did have the engineering services charged in January.
Yeah, that's,
So
Okay.
$1,000 was,
Yeah, I thought I looked at it and there was no money.
yeah, that was applied. That and water so far are the only two items.
Right. All right. Not that it's a lot of money, but it's just, it is money we could
It
use.
is money.
All right, so committee, so let's see, you want to talk about all these coming up? We've got a,
Would now be a good point to switch to 13A for lease agreement?
sure. All right, we'll go to 13A and then we'll come back to the committees. So 13A, lease agreement between Orangevale Rec and Orangevale Historical Society.
So exciting.
So can I get a motion and a second, and then we'll have discussion?
I move that we approve the lease agreement between the Orangevale Recreation and Park District and the Orangevale History Project that provides the Orangevale History Project the use of the cottage building for museum, gift shop, office, and storage.
Second,
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and then discussion. Agreement looks okay. The only thing I questioned was the hours that I don't know if they requested it, or if it was something that they just, you guys put in. It's from like 6 o'clock in the morning through 11 o'clock at night, and I thought it should match up closer to our operation, like 7 to 10 or something, because there's a thing right below it says if they need it other than those hours, they can request it.
Correct.
And that's just it's just a minor,
Yeah, if we went 7 to 10, it would more closely match the operating hours of the park and the community center. And Mark and I talked earlier about that and just seeing if that's something you would be agreeable to, and it sounds
So-
like 7 to 10 would work for them.
right, I can't imagine they're gonna be there all those hours anyway, but
Right.
you may
So-
not wanna be working on it.
Window, just
Yeah.
to make sure we didn't get trapped in the
Right.
So I'll amend my motion to include the adjustment on the hours from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
All right, thank you. All right, so let's, it is a
We need a
money
second
item, so I
again?
think we do have to
Oh.
vote.
Yes.
Second that amendment.
Thank you.
Okay. So it does involve money in some fashion or another, so we need a individual vote.
Yes.
Montez,
Yes.
President, yes. Stickney,
Yes.
Morass,
Yes.
Bloomberg.
Yes.
Okay, and so it's 5-0, there you go.
Orangevale has a museum.
And I guess a couple months from now, you'll be opened, or is that the plan, or?
Maybe in the morning.
Where you move.
We should really get a picture with the
Yes.
All right, okay.
Yep, we
For
can
the
sign the
newspaper,
agreement.
yeah.
Would you be willing to sign the agreement tonight? And knowing that there will be those amendments made to the agreement, but just as a point.
Photo op.
As a memento, we're capturing that moment in history.
Yes, we are.
But before we do that, I just want to let you know that a couple things we have planned. Exhibit A includes Orangevale Rec and Park District and the History Project meeting on site to walk it, take video, take photos, and have a written understanding as to the as-is conditions. and an understanding as to what the Park District will be moving out of that building. And so that's documented. And there's a couple other items. There's a large eucalyptus tree near the building. If it falls the wrong way, this agreement is going to become useless. So we want to take care of that tree, and that's something that the Park District will do before they move in. And a couple of other landscaping items that we're going to tend to.
Does that mean you can take it out?
Overall, it's pretty much ready to go.
Awesome.
My goodness. Yes.
Let's do it.
Nobody loves eucalyptus trees,
All right.
except Australians.
Director Stickney, would you be able to come up here and sign that?
Sure. Where are we going?
How about,
Yeah.
Where do you want us to sign it?
Ken, where's a good location?
Anywhere in front of there.
Okay, well, that's,
All right.
I was right here in front of Jason.
There you go. Big deal. Big deal.
Oh, my grandkids get to see this later.
It goes right there, so they know who signed in front of it. It's just a little jealous of you.
He wants me to determine this document.
The lady in the red turtleneck was the one who.
The papers go right next to it.
Yes.
When do you want to be over here?
Let me get out of the photo.
Well, left-handed people are always in the right mind. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get the, Mike, get up there, Barry, we'll take a picture of the three of you. There we go.
Actually, you should.
There we go.
There we go.
Said yes to the address. Ta-da! Yay! Thank you.
My nameplate is famous now.
You wanted this?
I'll get that form before I leave tonight.
Now we can tell everybody, start spring cleaning. Get those artifacts out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the history project as well.
A lot of hard work ahead of you, too.
This was their original vision, so thank you.
And also, just a reminder, anybody here in this room and anybody that might be watching this tonight, please become a member of the Orangevale History Project. There's great opportunities to donate, and there's lists of things that you can donate towards, so.
You can follow them on Facebook.
Watch the videos.
Invest in your community.
And someday maybe we'll get an insight to some of that not shared stuff about Orangevale.
Come to the board meeting.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so we're all good
We
then?
can move on, and you're all welcome to stay if you wish. but
Yeah,
We
so
understand.
then we'll
that-
go back to 10A or 10 standing committees.
Yes.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you. Aye. Bye, Janice.
Yeah, so for the standing committees, the Admin Finance Committee will be meeting next Friday, the 24th,
At 1:30 is what I've got.
at 1:30 here in this building. And that'll be Directors Brunberg and Stickney. The Maintenance and Operations Committee, no report there, though I would like to schedule a meeting. That would be Directors Presnall and Merez. I'd like to schedule something hopefully for March.
I'm open.
Great.
All right, you guys
Recreation?
work it out and talk to each other, and then,
Yeah.
let's see, Recreation Committee, and then, you want to talk to the policy, and, or we're going to talk about that later anyway, right?
Yeah.
It's later in the
A
agenda.
lot of it's in the agenda later, but the minutes are included. And then the Planning Committee is going to be meeting
March
March 2nd now.
2nd at
March
10
2nd at 10
o'clock.
a.m. 10 a.m.
All right,
That's it.
And just so I know, in case I missed it, we have not assigned out
Oh, the planning committee?
We haven't assigned new committees yet. We haven't done that?
We have.
You
Yeah,
did?
we have.
Okay, I missed it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It was last month in the packet, but
Yeah.
I can get it to you.
Send an email, I'll let everybody know again what they're on and
Thank you.
who the
Planning
chair.
committee is Director Stickney and Merez.
Right.
All right.
All right, administrator report.
Yeah, I got several items I'd like to just touch upon. We had our recap, recap of the storm damage. We lost roughly 20 mature trees and a lot of limbs and other casualties. But we're going to be doing some replanting here, the big day of service and other opportunities that we can.
Did we ever connect with that gentleman and get trees?
Yes, we're actually meeting up with them.
That's
and
fantastic.
Trying to get those. We'll see if we can put some of those over at Disc Golf,
Okay.
possibly, because they're already mature, and see how they do with water.
Okay.
So later on, we'll report on big day of service and things like that, so.
Fantastic.
I didn't catch all of that.
We have a gentleman who has a nursery here in town that has offered us 6 mature trees, 5 now, I think, 5 mature oak trees. Well, not mature, they're about 12 feet tall.
Okay.
Very
Which-
well established.
Yeah, well-established, and
25-gallon.
Okay.
Horacio and Nelson are going to go meet with him and take a look at the trees, and if we're happy with them, we're going to go ahead and grab those and plant them.
All right.
He has a lot of other trees, too, that he's interested in, if we're interested, that he's going to make available to us.
Okay.
And he's given us a great deal on those. So,
Were we going to try and continue getting trees of color?
Yeah, so we've been doing
Certain
those
places.
with the Tree Foundation.
Okay,
Normally with them, you have to work differently, meaning we have to, develop a plan, set up a
Right.
map and what species we want, and then they'll order them, and then we'll get them. So it's a process. So hopefully we can get some for big day of service, so we
Okay.
can include that with projects.
okay.
You did, what, about 20 here at this point?
Roughly, yes.
I think we did 15 last year for Big Day of Service. And
And Nelson planted a few more, 4 more that I know of, that are more of the coniferous, like pine type.
I know we have a couple that didn't make it, that we planted that.
Yeah.
We'll have to put new trees in those spots.
But to request new ones too, for those.
But as far as our claim with Capri, we're able to claim a lot of this due to storm damage. And a lot of it is going to be our non-exempt staff hours that are applied to the cleanup. We had 2 fences that were damaged. And so the cost for repairing those and materials, we can claim. The tree, the large tree, the eucalyptus that fell at Pecan, our staff it's too big a job for our staff and our equipment. So we're going to have a contractor remove that tree, and that will also be part of the claim. So our $2,000 deductible will go towards that claim, which is quite fair. Yeah. On January 11th, myself and Jennifer met with Jeff Land. He's the Executive Director of Public Finance for Brandis Talman with Oppenheimer. And the purpose of our meeting was to discuss the Inflation Reduction Act and how funding may become available to the district for public infrastructure in the future. Pretty near future, too. Jeff Land will be presenting to the board at our March meeting to discuss how that might impact our district. So I know later in the agenda, we were talking about potential future funding, and this could be helpful to us. On January 18th, myself and Melissa met with Jennifer Tremble of Innovage to talk about expanding our services for seniors and also potential sponsorships for our senior programs. Also on the 18th, I attended the first Big Day of Service meeting at Sunrise Community Church. And it was our kickoff meeting to basically direct us on how to request projects for the Big Deer Service. And then yesterday, Horacio and I met for the second meeting, and we had already submitted, I think it's 8 projects for the district. We'll see which ones of those get accepted, and, but it's now looking, I think in my report, I indicated 500 volunteers and 20 projects. It's now up to 1,500 volunteers and at least 40 projects, probably closer to 50,
That's here?
throughout Orangevale and Fair Oaks.
I was gonna say Fair Oaks is out.
That's on May 6th.
Because I think it was last year, it looked like the numbers were down.
Well, we had restrictions due to COVID.
Yeah, they were definitely down last year compared to 2019.
Right, okay, but we're hoping it'll be back up. All right, good.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of momentum. On January 21st, myself and Coordinator Andrew Gross attended the Orangevale Community Open House at the Grange Hall. Great event, a lot more people than last year, and Lisa's granddaughter won the big prize.
She sure
The one
did.
big raffle prize there.
Epic basket.
Yeah. On January 23rd, I met with Eric Nelson of SMUD at Strang Avenue Trail to look at that gate on that fence that we're going to be replacing. And, yeah, it was good information. Basically, he doesn't need that gate to be fancy. He doesn't need it to be redwood. In fact, it's better that it remains chain link, and it's lighter weight for them to open, and it's more accessible for them to get into. So I have submitted that request to the 2 companies that gave us quotes on the fence, and expecting their quotes to come in lower than they were. I also notified the neighbor, the Janouche property owners, about that, so. But yeah, so SMUD is good. All they wanted to do is make sure that we have the privacy slats in the chain link, because that was the main request of the neighbors, so that people can't see through that fence into their property.
Point, when I was on the Trails Committee, at the County Trails Committee, they were talking, the issue of gates came up, and Orangevale brought it up because we have more open space and more farmlands exposed to the proposed trails going through. And one of the things that we pushed for at that time, and the trail that Fair Oaks did and Rio Linda did, is that if there's a gate, it either run on a rail on the inside, or the gate opened up into the property owner. So it would not open out to the trail. It would open into the trail, into the property owner's property, or there'd be a rail so that he could slide it, the owner could slide back and forth. So that was one of the conditions that we put in at Sac County Trail, wasn't that right, Sharon?
That's good.
That we put in or requested that gates do those 2 issues and do it up front so that homeowners or property owners would already know ahead of time what they could work with, that the gates could open inward, so not to leave them open or exposed to trail or create a hazard or a fire hazard, and then or run on a rail inside their property, so.
That's great. That's good to know. I believe, or actually you might know, I believe the gates that are currently there can open in or out. Are they on a swing post?
Yeah, they're on a pivot, so
Yeah.
they can
Yeah,
go
if they're on a pivot,
either
I'm
way,
sure
but-
that's fine, but,
down in there, it's a little ways off to the side of the
trail.
of the trail.
yeah.
So the access point will be quite a ways.
Well, the
But
issue-
that's a good point for any other neighbors that are close to the trail as well.
Right, because the issue came up with fire, impeding fire or sheriff going through the area. They
Right.
didn't want to be impeded with a gate opening up.
Sure,
Or them, it was easier to accost somebody if they were in the property,
Yeah.
if the gates opened in
Uh-huh.
to the property owner instead of out.
That makes sense. Now, the gate I'm talking about is not one of the 4 that's going to be right along the trail, but when it comes to those, I'll check the plans to make sure that they are opening into the property and not into the trail. Because
Okay.
those will be right up against the trail, those 4 new fences that are going to be going up along the trail.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
they want access to the trail? Okay.
I think they do, yeah.
Well, that's fine, just,
It enhances their property value too, by the way. So people that fought it long and hard all of a sudden go, oh, you mean it helps my property value? Oh, okay. So,
Yes, shit.
I mean,
Okay.
you made a good point, Manny, so that when they get around to putting their gates, the new fencing up.
It's good, thank you. Then on January
anything else,
25th,
nope, that's
All
it.
right.
I'm sorry. On January 25th, myself, Jason, and Andrew Gross had a meeting with Streamline. Chris Ryan is their head of customer service, and Adriana Sells, their implementation manager, where we met them to have our first training on a new website. And we were expecting the new website to take a couple months before we get it, and it took more like a couple weeks.
Awesome.
We went live on Monday.
Looks
So
nice.
when I was writing this, I was expecting another couple months. So it's live. It's a little sooner than we wanted it to be because it was about 80% ready when we launched it, but all the key information was in there. And Andrew's been working hard this week to get it pretty much close to 100%.
Looks very professional.
That's great.
Extremely professional.
Thank you.
It,
And it's a
Close.
lot easier
More
for us
moving
to
parts.
edit. A lot easier to edit, and the main reason is it's compliant, fully compliant with government and ADA,
good,
where our last site wasn't.
yeah.
It was initially when we got it, but over time, it's become less so.
It flows. When I went in to get it, it just
Paid way
leads
too
right
much
into
for
the
the
next
last site.
section, which is nice.
Well, good, good. And that's really all I have, but do you have any questions, anything you want to add?
Great.
Jason, ready for rec?
All right, Rick, we're doing pretty well again this January. That's big thing is target is there's when the returning swim team members can sign up. And so then we'll hopefully be hitting well in February with new swimmers that fill in the spaces. So, yeah, things are going well. If you look in our graphs here, we're still above projection, so we're moving along.
Yeah, I think last month, the month before, we were like 12,000 below our projections. Now we're above it, so, yeah, a couple good months.
And we have a clean pool.
Sort of. Had it.
I know, we had a clean pool, I don't know.
So the pool,
weather's coming up.
Yes, gonna start back up.
so between the storm, bringing a lot of debris into the pool,
Yeah.
and the storm preventing our staff
From cleaning the pool.
from cleaning the pool, because we're dealing with the storm, it was neglected, and not intentionally, but
Yeah.
just the way it happened, so
Weather
we had
happens.
to work hard to,
Too
I
many
say we,
leaves.
Oh,
had
I'm
to work
sorry,
hard.
the clean pool, well,
So
clean
we're,
pool's kind of, yeah.
so we're,
Frosty.
are we more or less caught up with all the I know the redwood, the stump is still down there at the disc golf.
Yeah, disc golf, yeah, we're
Cut it off and then grind it down, or?
We're thinking about leaving it at a reasonable height so that
Sit on it.
anybody who's in the parking lot can sit, on that.
Right, no, that's
I don't
fine.
think it creates any kind of hazard if we leave it at a reasonable height. But, yeah, all this past month has been a lot of cleanup and a lot of debris that we have moved, like you guys said, quite a bit from the pool, because I've seen leaves that they're not from around here.
They came from miles.
So they came from somewhere. So, but yeah, we're slowly getting back to normal, if there's such a thing. And now we're able to go out and mow the parks. We, this week we went out. It's still quite wet in certain areas, but, slowly but surely we're getting there.
They're talking about rain for next week.
Next week, yeah, sometime midweek.
Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah.
maybe Thursday.
Yeah, so we're gonna do as much as we can with the turf this week. And, yeah, for the most part, as you can see in the report, it has been taking care of trees. Our staff has done quite a bit of work between regular maintenance and the extras, and most of the work has been done in-house.
Okay.
So,
And you got all the
Kudos to
holiday
them. What was that?
decorations, you got the holiday decorations down.
Yeah.
Folsom just started theirs, so.
Oh, yeah?
We
Oh.
beat Folsom, so,
Well, now,
yeah.
wasn't the insurance also supposed to cover staff time for doing the storm damage? So
It
you're
is.
keeping track of staff
Right.
doing this?
non-exempt staff time, which is everybody except for us, yeah.
I got a question on your comment about graffiti at the Filbert Oaks. Is Is it a major issue?
No, it's
again?
just random stuff that appears here and there. Somebody goes with a pen and writes, just,
All right, whatever.
for the, last week, we had one that was a little bit bigger, and then another one this week that were in there. I don't know, maybe because of the holiday, or I don't know what, but randomly, but not as we had it before. So it's not,
Not a major issue.
not a chronic issue right now, so.
All right.
Good.
Anything else with parks?
No, just like you said, taking down the Christmas tree decorations, and thanks to Easy Stumps for their sponsorship on the lift. Makes it a lot
That helps, really.
Easier.
more convenient, and we got it down pretty good.
You guys do a great job.
Yep.
Jennifer, anything with admin you want to add? Good, all right. And then Fulton El Camino, their report, pretty clean. There's, I know there was one citation for dog off leash at Almond, and that means that's somebody that they've
Someone they've warned before.
they've already warned before, correct? Yeah. It looks like they've issued a couple more warnings, too. Not only at Almond, but at other parks. All right.
And we've already done.
Unfinished business,
We
new
did
fence.
10A.
Yeah, pretty much covered that already.
All right. So we're on
13B.
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 B.
Yeah, those are the two resolutions that we try to pass every year at this time to give SCI Consulting permission to go ahead with their assessment duties.
I move we approve resolution of the Board of Directors of the Orangevale Recreation and Park District directing preparation of the engineer's report for the Orangevale Landscaping and Lighting Assessment District, OLAD, of the Orangevale Recreation and Park District.
I second.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead, Orangevale Lighting and Landscape. So it's it is money, or will be money, so we need to have an individual vote.
Okay. President, yes. Stickney?
Yes.
Yes.
Moraz.
Moraz. Brunberg.
Yes.
And Montez.
Yes.
Okay, then we're on to 13C, which is approval of resolution for the Kenneth Groves Lighting and Landscape.
I move we approve the resolution of the Board of Directors of the Orangevale Recreation and Park District directing preparation of the engineer's report for the Kenneth Grove Landscaping and Lighting Assessment District of the Orangevale Recreation and Park District.
I'll second that motion.
Okay.
There again, it's a money item, so we need to have an individual vote.
All right. Stickney?
Yes.
Moraz?
Yes.
Brunberg?
Yes.
Montez?
Yes.
President, yes.
Okay, so then we're got down to 13D, Common Kettle LLC to hold the farmer's market.
I move we approve the agreement with Common Kettle LLC to hold the Orangevale Farmers Market at the Orangevale Community Center Park on the designated Thursdays in 2023.
I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion, a second, and then for the record, we did increase the cost slightly.
5%, yes.
Yeah, well, whatever, it's, and then there's nobody from them tonight, I guess.
Yep.
Okay.
Not present.
I think it went well, and I guess they're moving it off the parking lot, which would probably be good, because.
They did that last year, as the grass.
Yeah, I know, but because,
I just would like to see easier access for our
Disabled?
disabled
Yeah.
folks who are, or, physically challenged, to be able to get to the booths. And that's, them putting it on the grounds has made that difficult, and that's been apparent in conversation. So if you
So
could just
staff
pass that on.
And
that-
Common Kettle can,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd like to see some kind of,
ramp, wood
well,
ramp.
not even a
Well-
ramp, maybe a different, reconfiguring of the layout, some way that it will make it, because the way they currently have the food vendors interrupts the sidewalk. So that
We will be talking to them about that.
that is against the law.
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, that's true.
Two,
It is.
that makes it even more difficult for those who are having challenges. So if we could just talk with them, I'll leave
When
it
they-
up to Barry.
You're talking about when they set up their,
Yes,
Yeah.
they're making it
Right.
difficult, so folks who are just coming for the farmer's market are not being able to have access. And two, those who are on the sidewalk we need to make that.
Yeah, I like having the food truck further north
Yeah.
in the parking lot, and
the other thing is,
Those are just logistics, but if
Yeah,
we can
exactly.
talk with them.
there is a possibility we'll be doing some construction with the new, so,
Right.
that, you may want to have that come into play whenever, I don't know who's in charge, who's in charge of dealing with them? Is it you
with the
or-
farmer's market, I've been dealing mostly with them the first 2 years. Jason's also involved.
Okay, so if you could, to go towards what Lisa was saying, when they do their setup, try to do it with that in mind. I don't know what it,
Well, we have to be in
Yeah.
compliance.
Exactly.
and also, who knows when they're gonna start the new road, but I'm assuming it will be May or June, I'm hoping anyway.
I think so. I think June,
But then that part though won't interfere because it'll be their back parking that they won't have access to.
Just whatever we can do to be in compliance for those who might need that accessibility.
Yep.
That would be greatly appreciated,
And
especially for our senior folks or folks that are needing assistance in some way.
right.
So
all right, so.
make sure the pie lady's there.
So we've had a
That's my
motion and a
favorite.
second, and then let's go ahead.
Moraz?
We've had discussion, so let's vote.
Moraz?
Yes,
Brunberg?
Yes.
Montez?
Yes.
President, yes. Stickney?
Yes. Okay, so then we're on 13E, agreement with the chamber, and then so can we get a motion?
I move we approve the agreement with the Orangevale Chamber of Commerce to host a beer and wine garden at the Orangevale Community Park on designated Thursdays in 2023 and authorize the district administrator to execute the agreement.
I'll second.
Okay, and then, for the record, we're taking Lisa's recommendation about, or I don't know if it was Lisa's or the committee, to increase the cost.
Yes, make that cost match all of our other outdoor alcohol consumption
Okay.
permits to $50.
Good, and I guess I'm assuming they're okay with it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we've had a motion and a second, we've had discussion, let's vote.
Okay. Brunberg?
Yes.
Montez?
Yes.
President, yes. Stickney?
Yes.
And Moraz?
yes.
Okay, so now we're on to 13F, approval of all events group to Summerpalooza,
Hang on, I gotta get to that page.
81 through 96. Okay, can I get a motion
I'm
to?
trying to get there. Okay, I move we approve the agreement with All Events Management Group to hold Orangevale Summer Palooza in Orangevale Community Park on June 16th through the 18th, 2023, and authorize the district administrator to execute the agreement.
A second.
Voted best event of the year.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, discussion. It is gonna be a conjunction, at least we're gonna be on the Sunday of the 40th anniversary,
Correct.
and details will follow on that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we've got some exciting stuff.
All right, so everybody may want to mark that down in their calendars for the 18th,
Yeah.
which is a Sunday.
Sunday, the 18th, and the 17th, we've brought back the parade as well, so we'll
Okay.
expect either the tractor by Hiroshio or float by the rec crew,
And our golf cart.
and the golf cart.
I
There you
want
go.
to find out how that thing is.
Is it going to run from,
So the parade is going to run the same route as the Power Day Parade, from Greenback in Maine to Filbert
Filbert.
and Greenback. Yeah.
right,
Yep,
Same
and the
thing.
5K run will run just prior to the parade. And,
Wow.
same.
Same route?
Same-
well, the route will go from the park, the community park, down Filbert, make a left on Greenback, make a U-turn at Walnut, and come back to the park. And so it'll go just before,
It won't get jammed up with people coming.
no.
Yeah, but those-
Because those streets are already closed, so the run.
Well, no,
is-
if they're, you
The
said they're
run
gonna make
takes
it.
only, takes 35 minutes, 40 minutes to do. So
Okay.
they'll have an audience, is what they'll have, is some people to cheer them on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then they'll still be able to watch the parade.
Yep, absolutely. So,
All right, so we have a motion and a second. We've had discussion.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and vote.
Montez.
abstain?
President, yes. Stickney?
Yes.
Morass?
Yes.
Brunberg?
Yes.
So 4-0 with one abstention. Okay, then we've got 13G with the Bow Wow Days.
What page is that? Can I jump?
Okay, that's on page 97 through 112. So can I get a motion to,
Move to approve?
I'll second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion, I don't know, this is what, the third year, I think, or is
This
it the
will
fourth?
be the third. Can you believe that?
Yeah, then it's,
It's, the participation's gone up every year, right?
Last year, we were light. We
Oh, it
were
was
light.
Oh, because the weather, I think, wasn't it?
No,
No, it's nice.
It's a beautiful day.
but it was still a great event. We
it looked
do-
like it was pretty crowded, I mean, it looked,
Yeah, we had half the vendors that we had previously.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, last year was a little rough with events in general, because everybody, if you looked at the calendar, we were competing probably against 25 different events. People were just, coming out of COVID, everybody was doing something. So the good news is that we were able to contribute a whole lot of resources, food to shelters. We've had record adoptions, contributors. So I mean, all in all.
It was
it's-
good, yeah,
It's just a good
successful,
event.
yeah.
It really is.
We had a booth there last year, and we had a lot of foot traffic. It was
Oh, that's
great.
good.
Yeah. Would love to be a part of it again this year, too.
Absolutely.
from what I saw, it looked like it was pretty crowded, but you're right, it looked like there was slightly less vendors.
We had one whole side that was
Right.
not, and we really focused on moving everybody into the shade, because the year before, we caught that sun, and it got really difficult on some of the animals. So we do have some special attractions that will be different from last year that we're looking forward to. We have a trainer. Jason's helped me connect with someone to do the obstacles. And
Good.
so, a lot of different demonstrations, so we're excited about that.
Don't you use the arena for stuff too, the horse arena?
We don't use the arena. We use that area for additional parking.
Oh, okay.
And the only reason why I reserve that is so that we don't have a conflict with other organizations who want to use the arena at the same time. So it just is
And
a safer.
it's just one day, you just set it up in the
Yeah,
morning,
and
right?
it's actually not a full-day event, so we're done by 1:00,
Oh, okay.
if that, it's 9 to 1, so,
Aren't there like dog agility
yes.
things?
But
you
that's
could use
more,
the
that's
arena for?
more,
So we create an arena area, and we have the Chihuahua races, the running of the bulls, which is the English, and
Staffordshire?
the English bulldogs and the, I can't remember
Some
the
other
other one.
bulldog?
Yeah, and then we have Chihuahua, we have wiener dog races. The bulldogs are the most difficult. They go everywhere.
They're stubborn.
They go all different directions, so we create an area.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, with temp fencing and stuff, so.
all right, so we've had a motion and a second, we've had discussion, so let's go ahead and vote on the Bow
President,
Wow Days.
President, yes. Stickney?
Yes.
Morass?
Yes.
Brunberg?
Yes.
And Montez?
Abstain.
Okay, so now we're on to 13H, I guess, yeah. Approval of the personnel manual, and you want to speak to that?
I'll make the motion first. I move
Yeah.
that we approve the draft of the 2023. Do we need to approve a draft, or can we say it's final? No? If we approve the draft, then you finalize it?
Yeah, what we're doing is approving the final draft to make it our official policy.
So it would be,
I believe this.
I want to approve I want to eliminate the draft. My motion
Okay,
is to
good.
approve the 2023 Personnel Policy Manual
Great.
for the district and direct the staff to make it the official Personnel Policy Manual by replacing the 2016 edition with this updated edition.
and I'll second that motion.
All right. So we've had a motion and a second, and you want to speak
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Barry?
there's a lot of, some
It's been a
changes in
long
it.
time coming. I know this is one of the first things that the board assigned to me
Yeah.
when you hired me. But yeah, there were definitely some delays along the way, but I want to thank all of our primarily our full-time staff, people at the table here, and as well as Nadia Coca Roberts, who's no longer working for us, and Christina Kelly. We all went through the entire thing, cleaned up a lot of the grammatical errors, reworded things, looked at those policies that may or may not pertain, and then the credit mostly goes to Jennifer. Then we had a lot go to Patty Ayers, who was our free legal counsel for Human Resources, to look over those policies that we thought might need to change, to have her help reword those. And then she also introduced some policies that have come along the way in the last 8 years since we've renewed this. So, yeah, it was great.
It looked clean, it looked good.
It was a good process, and another positive thing is we've all now reread the policy manual, so it's somewhat fresh in our minds.
Well, it was very well done, very well done.
Thanks.
And then I think the other comment I had was I want to make sure that the new driving policy, that all the present employees will be signing off on it or made aware we have a new policy.
Yes, and Jennifer reminded me today, that driving policy initially came about during our Capri meeting back in October as a recommendation from Capri. Then we went to Patty to button that up, to make it as current as possible. And yes, correct, we will have all current staff sign off on that and any new staff that we hire.
Right.
Does that go for your rec contractors as well, or no? They don't drive for the district,
They're independent contractors fully.
Okay.
Yeah, so it won't pertain to
So
them.
it doesn't apply, okay.
And then I think part of that, changing the hours, was that part of that too? Is that just?
No, that's on a different discussion.
That was separate, yeah.
All right. All right, so we have to approve it or acknowledge
Yeah,
it? We-
I think we have to vote. It could just
Please.
be an all
No
in favor.
money, so we could just
All right.
do.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstentions? Nays? Okay, so we'll call it 5-0. 4. Let's see here. 980. Want to speak to that?
Yeah, so this is something that came out, we introduced at the Personnel Policy Committee meetings that we've had over the past 2 months. And part of the reason we wanted to do this was staff retention, any kind of benefits that we see a lot of other agencies getting that we can do that's really of no cost to the district, we want to implement if we can. So 980 work schedule, if those that aren't familiar, is you're working 8 9-hour days and then 1 8-hour day to equal 80 hours. And you would have basically 1 day off every 2 weeks. And it would be an identified day, consistent. And Director Montez has used that. She provided us with a really good application that the state uses. So if any staff members are interested, they need to complete that application.
But it only applies to Monday through Friday staff, correct?
Yes. So what we did as part of the process is I met with Horacio and Jason and Jennifer, each of their 3 divisions, to see if it's feasible and viable within their divisions. And it really isn't with recreation or parks because staff works more odd hours, also a little more short on staff. Coverage would suffer if we held it within parks and recreation.
Oh, my, I'm sorry.
Okay. With admin, there's more consistency with hours, the schedules are more set. It was much easier for us to do, and we have adequate coverage. So it's offered right now to the 4 full-time admin staff. And 2 of them wish to accept that new schedule, and the other 2 want to keep the schedule they have. So it is optional.
And so this will start next month or something?
It's going to start next week.
Next week, all right, okay.
Yep, start next week. So, yeah, we're excited about it. Hopefully, it works out well. We have high hopes that it will. But if it doesn't, we also have the right to discontinue it, giving these people roughly 30 days' notice so they can readjust their schedules back.
All right, so do we need to,
I think that's just a verbal. It's
yeah,
something
we don't
that-
have, it's a day-to-day thing, so we're not, you're just informing us.
Correct. It's an
All right.
informational item.
K, oh no, new hours.
We're on to J, yeah.
J, implementing new hours starting March, I guess?
Yeah, reworked. It's another thing that came out of the Personnel Policy Committee is adjusting our operating hours for public visitation. And we did a study for several other agencies in the area. They were averaging roughly 8.5 hours. I'm sorry. We were averaging 8 hours and 8.5. I'm sorry. We were open for 8.5, and the average around was like 7.5. So we're going down to 8. And the main reason we want to do it is it provides our office staff an extra half hour to finish up their administrative tasks at the end of the day. Right now, they're really scrambling to get that done and out of there before they start accruing overtime. So it's going to really free them up to get a lot of those admin tasks done.
Save us money.
Should save us
So
money.
that's just a verbal.
Yeah, it's a verbal, just to notify you, and it's being advertised now, it's on our website and posted on our doors, so people that come in will see that. We're going to start that March 6th.
K, preliminary plans, you're gonna, for the 40th anniversary?
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if we will have much to add, only the date. We're going to have our celebration as part of the Summer Palooza on that Sunday.
Is that a Father's Day weekend? I think it's.
It is.
It's actually
Oh,
Father's
okay,
Day.
yeah.
That's Father's Day.
It's Father's Day, Sunday, the
Okay.
18th, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we're planning some kids' entertainment, going to beef up what we normally do for our booths. And all the details are still being worked out, but just wanted you to know it is going to be on the 18th.
Are we gonna kind of advertise it when we start getting a little closer, maybe in May?
Yes, we want to advertise in the rec guide and our website and
Summer
social
Palooza
media.
Yeah, and the view.
also has advertisement on TV and radio as well.
Cool.
Great.
All right, anything else? No?
We're also working on a new logo for our 40th. So we hope to have something that we can introduce in March, by the end of March, for the remainder of the year.
Awesome.
Okay, L, 13L. Review discussion of additional funding for the district. Is that the extra payday that you were talking to me about? or-
No, this is when it was evident that the community was not going to support an assessment, a new assessment for the district back in, I think, October or November. We, as a board, asked to bring this topic back to the board in February.
Okay,
So it's really just to kind of reintroduce new ideas, just kind of keep it, don't let it go too far to the back burner. Keep it at the front of our minds, things we might want to do. It's one of the purposes of next month having Jeffrey Land come and talk about the Inflation Reduction Act and some of the funds that might become available to us at that point. Also, the staff, we've been working on cost savings ideas and revenue generating ideas at our staff meetings, our bi-monthly staff meetings. We have a list of roughly 25 items that we feel that we can implement as a staff. We've started implementing several of those. We've already generated what we estimate to be somewhere around $12,000 in savings to the district. Just, some are small, some could be large when it comes to grants, some opportunities like that might come our way. But overall, we're working on what we can do. We know that once that wasn't passed, that we need to tighten up the belts a little bit further.
Yeah.
Well,
Do what we can.
I'll be the first to
Especially with
say I think
inflation.
we still ought to consider doing some kind of lighting landscape bond, something. I think
It's not the right time.
After inflation is.
Yeah, it's
is
just not the
lowered.
right
We can't-
time.
We're not gonna touch anything until
Yeah.
inflation.
All right.
To the eggs,
Yeah.
cracked eggs.
I would,
But at least start working on what our accomplishments are. I think that was one of the things that Susan Barnes recommended, is that we toot our own horns, is like when we do have cost savings, that we make it public, you know, whether we have a page on our website that advertises things that we're doing,
Facebook.
when we get out and talk with community groups to let them know. And I noticed yesterday or today, I think it was today, Sue Marin, our accounts payable staff member, she pointed out that Orangevale Water District has an assessment district of $120 per parcel. So you've probably all seen that on your property tax bills. We just got a huge bill because we have so many parcels in our park district. Yeah, we get a nice bill, like roughly $1,800 that we owe for that. So I feel like they're getting $120 a year and we're getting 42. I just,
Maybe that's something to share with the community.
yeah, I think it is, something to strive towards, some sort of equity.
And just say, you know, we understand the value of the water, however, you know,
I don't know if that's gonna make the
let's share with you how much that could do for our
For our
district.
district, yeah,
Yeah,
look at
but
what
I
you
don't, I
can
mean,
get.
that's not gonna make me wanna pay more just because I'm
No.
paying more on this end.
No.
So they, oh, pay
But-
additional.
But maybe it will provide a perspective of what it would look like,
I think
right?
tooting
barometer.
I think tooting our own horn. So at the
that is
events,
definitely, yeah.
we can have some sort of poster board or something that when they come and see, hey, this is what we're doing, this is how we
Be a badge
operate.
on the website about Best of Orangevale.
Yep.
all right, let's see, so do we want to bring that back again in a couple of months? Or they're going to talk about it next,
Yeah, so we're going to have one step towards that next month.
all right. So we'll talk about an ongoing discussion.
Election to raise the taxes.
All right, 13M,
Swimming
pool
pool
project.
project. I wish I had a much better update for you, but we did make a little progress since this came out. I thank Jason for reaching out to Michelle Gable, she's with Aquatic Design Group, the main person over there that we've been working with. And Jason reached out to her yesterday just to follow up on an issue with our grates, and they made some headway. Jason provided information that she wasn't aware of or that she had misunderstood in the past, and hopefully this is a little breakthrough between us and the county. But we also learned that we don't really have to wait for the county before we go out to bid.
Oh,
So that's really not a time obstacle as far as that goes. Once we assign a contractor, the contractor will then help with some of the county requirements.
So, does that mean we can put it out to bid in 60 days or 90 days?
I think so.
Then maybe that should be a goal.
I think so.
Let's
but
shoot-
we're not gonna construct until after the summer.
Well, I know, but we need, but
Season,
if we put it out to bid in 60 days, and we give them 30 days to
Respawn.
respond, and then we pick a winner, so we're talking 120 days from now, so that's 4 months, so. it's
We
all-
need to put in the bid that construction won't begin until,
Well,
they
yeah,
need to know.
that'll probably,
Absolutely.
it'll
The timing.
start after July 1, correct?
Right. It would start September, it's at the earliest.
We could start, I mean, I was just doing my stuff for the next guide, and they start school real soon. I mean,
In August,
in
yeah, you
August,
said
so,
the end of
I mean,
August.
we have mid-August that we could probably, if they really wanted to
I
come
know,
out here.
but, so I think what we need for you guys, to put you guys, let's do it like a 60 or 90-day, put it out to bid as a goal. Does that, should we
That's
give them
realistic.
direction to
I think
do
it's
that?
realistic, yeah.
So let's put it on the May agenda, or have it all set up to put out to bid in May.
do we have to approve that? I thought it's just.
No, we can give them directions, you
Okay.
know. And you'll just, we'll put it on the agenda for next month too, and,
So it's a window.
yeah, so we either, let's say, that's the goal, is we want to put it out to bid.
And that is consistent with the timeline. The timeline right now is bid and award contract in April. So, yeah, April, May.
All right. But the good news was that we don't have to wait on the count, I mean, you know,
That
so
was
let's
good.
just, let's get, we've already got what we think is how much it's gonna cost, we don't know.
Yeah.
So let's just go for it.
Good.
And then, like Jason said, you know, they start school like August 20th or something.
Oh, no, it's even
No, August,
sooner
like
than
this,
that, yeah, that's what I said.
first, second week of August.
Really?
But
It's just-
whatever.
Yeah, and it's just about getting on someone's calendar, so, there you go. So wherever it starts, you know, if they say they can start August 15th or something like that,
Yeah.
then roll on in here and
Well,
get
whatever, we can work on when they can start later, but let's just, number one
Yeah.
thing is to get it all lined up to put out the bid.
What happened?
We can do that in
Crossing my
April or
fingers,
May. All
Sooner
right,
the better, yeah.
let's put that on the pool on the agenda for next month. That'll be,
Yes. We'll keep this on the
all
agenda.
right, and then, so then we're done with that. Anything else you want to add to it? Okay, roadway, trail.
A little bit of progress. Again, it's a little, got backed up at the county with our SEQA, which I had submitted back in November. They sent me a receipt with approval. The problem is they needed to create a project number and have it recorded, and that was going to take 6 to 8 weeks. It ended up taking more like 12 weeks, but it's, that has officially been recorded, so now we can submit plans. It's just a long application to get done before I do that, so. So that should be done soon, getting the plans in, and then we can go out to bid for that.
So are we also looking at 60 days to put it out to bid?
Bid and award contract, April, May,
All right,
start construction.
and then, like we just discussed, that whatever part of the issue is gonna be, the Thursday night
Farmers market.
farmer's market, so you'll have to make whoever's gonna do it, or whatever we're gonna do, I don't know.
Right.
Maybe we can talk
Their
about.
construction equipment needs to be down below.
Yeah, well,
Right.
whatever, you
Yeah,
know,
hopefully
that,
they
They stage it over
manage it.
at the other part, not on this
Yeah.
side.
They may need to stage up top for a while and then down below
Right.
later, but we'll,
and maybe, we're gonna talk about the project and the planning committee
we are, yeah.
a little bit, I mean, just to, so, and that's May, March, so, all right. So let's, there again, have a timeline of May, or before May to put it out to bid or whatever.
It's on there.
All right.
And I apologize for the
No,
delays.
that's fine. I think we're hung up with the county a little more on that. All right, the other project, Arden Cripple Creek Trail, which I guess has started, right? You were,
Yeah, they're making pretty good progress. They're now approaching Tempo Park, which means they'll be at Sundance before you know it. They were originally expected to be into Sundance sometime in March. I think that's realistic, probably late March, early April,
but they can't do anything with the bridge until April 15th, correct?
correct. They gotta, yeah, they can't
And,
mess with
and
the
that,
creek.
and that's what they're doing, they're just going from one end and they're working their way through the end of it, they're not doing,
Yeah, pretty much. They did some side work.
They did some
Yeah.
sidewalk work on Oak Avenue.
Sidewalk,
That's-
Which is
that's-
nice.
yeah. Oh, my
So
God.
some prep work.
Now I gotta get my roller skates. I can roller skate down there.
Let's get that on video.
Good idea.
Wait till it's with some.
all right, so that's going along, and I guess they're not having any major issues?
No, the storm, of course, set them back, but overall, they're not having any major issues. Well, there is still some supply chain issues, including wrought iron for those fences on those 4 properties. I talked with them about 2 weeks ago, and they said it was at least 6 to 8 weeks delayed, additional delay. So they were hoping to get the fencing done early, but now it's going to
Well,
be.
whatever, even if it's 8 weeks, that's still, you're looking at,
It's still, yeah, before the whole trail's done. It'll be
Right.
in, yeah. But it'd be nice to get it done As they're moving through.
As they're going forward, yeah.
Yeah.
So just keep us abreast when they start actually doing something on our side, so maybe we can,
Horacio, why don't you and I go out to Tempo and take a look over there too?
anything else on the?
No.
Okay, March meeting live stream.
Yeah, well, we're going to have Jeffrey Land's presentation. It would be a nice thing to include on video.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aside from that, we're looking at,
Can
We
just-
probably should make sure that Ken's available.
And
Yeah,
then
I
make
talked-
sure that, when we talk
helps,
about,
doesn't
make
it,
sure
Ken?
we say that we can't, a lot of our projects are stalled out because we don't have sufficient funds. The restrooms, new restrooms,
You have to use that
upgrading
verbiage a
the,
lot.
Skate park.
right. Well, whatever, I mean, it's,
No, I agree. We have to use that verbiage a lot.
right.
can I mention something that's
Yes.
kind of neat? Hopefully it pans out. Big day of service, Horacio and I talked with Tom and Josh with the foundation the other day. We're requesting that the restroom building at Pecan be renovated by Big Day of Service,
At what park?
Whoa.
at Pecan Park.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, the interior, all new toilet sinks, partitions, paneling on the walls. Yeah, we would do the demo in advance, and then they would have skilled plumbers to help
Oh, my goodness.
with that. So
Oh, wow.
they're trying to find some skilled plumbers, and if they can find them, that project, of course, it's going to be a budget item for us to,
Right. They do the demo and
If we can find the plumbing, we'll get the
yeah.
project.
Yeah,
Find the money.
it's gonna depend
Oh.
on the volunteers and what they can,
do, yeah.
Contact the
do-
best of Orangevale plumbers.
Oh,
Yes,
yes. Yes.
All right, so,
So we'll say yes to Ken for
Right.
March.
Yes.
Yes.
yeah,
okay,
Great.
and that's gonna be March.
The third Thursday. I have a calendar, it
This was
is
the 16th, no, 13th?
Well, the first is
16th, yeah, that's right,
It's always
Aye.
identical, yeah.
identical to
16th or something like that.
March 16th.
The
All
same
right.
as February's.
All right. So we're doing good. All right, directors and staff's comment, and I'll look down at Melissa right there real quick.
We did have a Facebook comment. One of our community members would like to come to the board and bring up the subject of pickleball courts in Orangeville, adding more to our parks, so just to let you know.
More.
Well,
Okay.
just to let that person know, that is on our discussion of the planning committee, is we're gonna discuss replacing the one tennis court at Pecan Park to add what, you said 4 more pickleball courts?
We should be able to add 4 more pickleball courts.
'Cause I drove by there right before Super Bowl, and it was packed with people wanting to play pickleball, and nobody was playing tennis, so,
Yeah, one tennis court is for pickleball, right?
It depends, if they're side by side, 2 tennis courts equals 6 pickleball
Okay.
comfortably. You can squeeze 8 in, but you're better off
and
not.
it wouldn't be a major expense. We'd probably have to reline it and maybe do some,
Repaint? You got
Well,
paint, line.
The-
I would say
posts.
minor repairs, but not major repairs either.
Right, shouldn't be,
Reseals
yeah,
and- Yeah.
that expensive.
And that would probably be that way we could leave the Hazel Avenue the way it is right now, because it's lighted, so they can play at night, plus we can have lighted tennis down there, so.
we have Alman as well, that is gonna need some work in the future.
Almond tennis
Almond
courts,
tennis courts.
starting to crack again, so those will need some
Well-
attention.
We'll talk about that in finance.
Right.
All right. And then probably put that on the agenda for the maintenance. They need to go over the schedule, the maintenance management system that we've got. So Arika can get abreast of it, and then Manny can come up to speed.
Good.
All right. So, anything else
I don't have any more for you tonight.
I think Melissa should talk about the Best Friends.
Oh, wait a minute, there was.
So yes, we did our Best Friends Bash on Friday, February 10th. We had approximately 40 seniors come to it. It was a great time. It was held in the gym this year because we have AARP here again, but this year they're here on Wednesday and Friday. So the AARP taxes was in the meeting room, so we moved into the gym. It was wonderful, very spaced out. We had Luce Johnson, who has currently added a couple seminars for our seniors. She has Money Smart and Putting Your House in Financial Order. Money Smart is about scams, so they're two great seminars that she's added. So she came and talked to us. We had some wonderful sponsorships this year that we did not have in the past, multiple, and hopefully moving forward, we can build more senior activities. But we had Carlton Senior Living, Rose Placement, Almond Heights, Kaiser Permanente Senior Advantage, Oakmont, and Blossomvale. It was wonderful having them there. They donated a lot of our prizes as well, and again, our group really seemed to have a lot of fun.
Yay.
So it's still better to have it up here than down at the new buildings?
Then the new property, yes, for our group at least, for that specific programming. As we move forward with the the road going down, that could change, but at the moment it is better.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right. Swim team's starting to line up.
Yeah, I mean, registration is going on. Open
And then,
to everybody at this point.
And then what about the lifeguard situation? Is that looking?
I've just been reaching out to people, seeing if they want to come back at that point. And then when we get closer to spring break, we're, pushing the new lifeguards.
And then, was it Sunsplash? They come over and train here?
Already got their schedule here, got to start putting them in and finding spaces. So, yeah. Everything's coming around. We just need water in a pool.
Not working. That helps.
So when do we start? I guess we'll shift over to Harassa. When do we start that? We don't,
As soon as we get good weather that we can apply the
3 weeks maybe, 4 weeks?
epoxy to seal
We
the
need, it needs to be
cracks up.
warmer.
It needs to be warmer.
We not have
We're
those
still in the
30-degree
low,
nights.
yeah, still in the low temperature, so we have to wait. But as soon as we can, we'll take care of it. And our goal is to have everything ready
We
so
got
that the programming can start.
And we have the new pump, the variable speed. That's gonna help.
Gotta have warm weather to fix
We don't want to,
Yeah.
yeah, we want it a little warmer so we don't have to try to heat up 50-degree water.
Well, it's all going to be new fresh water when we put it in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Anything
But-
else, Horacio?
No, just thanks to the community for their patience and understanding and help with all the trees that went down. We lost a lot of them at disc golf. I think that was the most hardest hit from the storms. And some new obstacles for the course that we left out there. I'm working with them on that, so they help out a little bit, and we still have a little bit more to go. I hope the obstacles are doing okay.
He's like hiding.
So we still have at least one or two that we would like to work on, one by hole one that we have to trim back a little bit more. That one still did not root it all the way. It's laying on its side, but we have to do some work out there. But along with that, thanks to all the staff for their work. And like I said, most of the work was done in-house. And that, that helps the district tremendously when it comes down to taking care of projects and responding to the needs when it's needed.
And I'm assuming you're still leaving the water off for at least another couple of weeks.
What, irrigation?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We like many Saturdays, somebody mentioned that there's another possible storm coming, so hopefully we'll get some more rain. But yeah, we'll play by the weather and see what Mother Nature brings.
When do you start, is this the time of year you start looking at the sprinklers, or you wait?
We'll start next month doing some irrigation checks on the systems, and after that, fixing anything that needs to be repaired. And then hopefully Between May and June, we'll have some irrigation running, depending on the weather, like we said. And
Right.
it always varies.
All right. Jennifer?
We still have some time, but reminder for those of you who still need to do Form 700. We have time. Deadline's April 10th.
April 10th, okay.
Throw it out there.
I did mine. It was not, it was,
I meant to do mine, that, annoying little
But
thing.
a whole nother month of reminders.
I did not delete the
We got some
email.
time.
the only one that has to do the ethics training is Sharon.
And she's done.
All right, good.
I hope so, because I did it in less than 2 hours. I don't know if they accept that.
No.
No, they
Oh,
will. Give you a
no.
certificate.
It printed.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, they
Yeah.
printed it and I signed it.
If it's reasonable, it will go through. If it's not, then it won't let you go.
It won't let you go.
They're a stickler about that.
Yeah, they won't,
I got it done early
they won't
one
let you
time
go
and-
through the
oh, no.
final.
You got 10 more minutes, you gotta do another chapter.
Yeah,
I was like, good.
I learned that
Wait
you
for 30 minutes.
that's awful, too.
get up and have a cup of coffee or whatever. All right, so we're all, not quite all done with the 700 form, but
A couple more.
You mean Manny didn't have to do ethics? I thought we were on the same schedule.
No, I did mine already.
we're-
Oh.
I did mine last,
700.
yeah.
I did my ethics already.
It was just sharing.
anything else then, like,
Yeah, just sharing, yeah.
so we're all done with the Larry Baines, it's all good?
The audit's all.
Yeah, oh, yes.
All buttoned up.
All right. Barry, anything you want to add?
We do have a new, what's the title? Office assistant. Part-time office assistant by the name of Michelle Campbell. And she started last week. She's replacing Marinda Owens, who was with us for about 7 months. Marinda got a college internship, so she's working now in Elk Grove. And we're happy to get Michelle. She's fantastic, good start. And, yeah, so our office currently is full-staffed. We're still waiting, we have one vacancy in recreation for a rec specialist. Best of Orangevale, want to toot our horn a little bit. OVparks won Best Municipal Service. We had some good competition, and happy to see us win that.
Did we beat out the county?
We,
Good.
well, I don't know if they were nominated, they didn't make the top three. So,
Okay.
What was our competition?
Orangevale Water and the library, I believe, were the two that we were up against. This park, Community Center Park, won Best Park in Orangevale. And Summer Palooza wasn't ours, but
It's
it
a
was.
partnership.
It was a partnership with all events, won the best event. And we did have a couple of the nominees that I want to recognize. Kids Corner was nominated for Best Preschool, and Olivia Silva, our Tiger Sharks swim coach, was nominated for Coach of the Year. So I want to recognize that as well. So, yeah, it was a good year for us, and it was a great event. Thank you, Manny and Erika and Lisa for being there, and Lisa had to be.
Yeah.
But it was
One of
good.
my favorite events.
We had a fun table. It was fun, yeah.
All right, we'll start down with Lisa. Anything you want to add?
It just was very, the Best of Orangevale was, I think, particularly special this year, even though it wasn't an anniversary, wasn't a 10-year, it was just 7. But to recognize Charlie Clark, who was so instrumental in bringing this building here and being part of the board and raising money and his love for the community, we were able to really spotlight that. So that made, for me, it was extra special night, as well as for Skip Nance, who was extremely, they're going to miss him over at CASA. They're not going to know what quite to do without him over there.
Who's this?
Skip Nance.
He's the coach.
You coach?
He's
He's an older coach.
everything. I
Yeah.
mean, he's in every sport with all the kids in different programs and clubs, and he is just a dedicated man who he just inspires our youth. And it was great that we had the opportunity to recognize him as well. So it made it extra special on top of having 82 categories to recognize. And the community just comes together to celebrate, and it's just, the whole room is just filled with that. And so it was awesome. It was so cool, yeah. I still get a little teary-eyed on the Charlie Clark thing, but
Yeah, I think the song that they sung on, the gentleman that he just mentioned
yeah,
was like one of the highlights
Yeah.
of that, because, you know, having lost my grandfather, I can relate to, you know, how hard they work and, you know, the stuff that they have pride on and really care for. And it shows that you can tell that, you know, he was singing along and.
he was singing along, and it
was
wasn't.
really, you know, quite a moment. I
Yeah,
just want to
it
highlight
was,
that.
it was, and it tied in with the history project of us announcing, giving them the key, you know, this, you know, the announcing of the museum in front of the community as well, because they found his sheet music for the song that he wrote.
Neat.
And they were able to give that to me to have Billy Williams, he worked on it and practiced it so he could perform it for Charlie.
He did a great
So-
performance.
Yeah,
Really
so it
nice.
was just extra special, and I appreciate you guys indulging me in all of that, putting the, you know, the side-by-side screens up, and, you know, Danny and everybody helping with the chairs and all of that stuff, so, you know, I really appreciate all that and the staff, so please pass that on to Parks and office staff as well, so.
Marika, anything?
I can't follow that.
It was a pretty cool night.
Ditto to what Lisa said. I love the idea of finding ways to toot your guys' horn, because I think you deserve it for sure. So come up with some ways to do that.
Absolutely.
Well, the staff, all the work you had to do in the parks, because I saw trees down everywhere in the roads and things. So I'm grateful that you all made it through. Nobody got injured, and you're doing hard work there. And thanks for the staff for all of your hard work. But yeah, it was very busy.
Danny?
It was nice seeing Charlie Clark there. He talked me into running, so it's his fault. But Charlie is probably one of the 15 people in Orangevale that are really directors of where Orangevale started a new phase and is still running in that phase. Marcia Clark, his wife,
Absolutely.
is just, the two are just, they're Orangevale, and it's just nice to see him. When the AC broke down here, Charlie was down here. He would want to do it free. We had to give him $1 to make sure it was legal. But I can't tell you how many times it didn't matter when it was, he would take the time and come down here and do work on it. And Charlie was instrumental in the park, the direction Orangevale took. OAC, I was the president of Oak, but it was Charlie's idea. It was Orangevale Action Committee. It was a nonprofit environmental group that ended up with 600 Orangevalians, and it had people in it from architects to engineers to developers to real estate agents to farmers to mom and pops, and they protected Orangevale, and they gave it the roots. So Charlie was involved in that too. And it's nice to see where we went. It's nice to see Charlie there and Marcia. It was just great to see them and see the other people that were there too, that supported him. Thank you.
One thing to follow that up, if any of you have an opportunity, go on to the Orangevale History Project website. On the homepage, there's an interview with Charlie Clark.
Yeah, there's several. It's quite cool, so.
And Manny, did they get hold of you yet to do an interview?
No, not yet. They will.
Yeah.
Only it's coming spring, so now a good opportunity to go walk the Norma Hamlin area. Because I think a lot of the,
Well, flowers are out.
the flowers are gonna start
Yeah.
coming. They may not be, I haven't been over there recently, but,
Not yet. From now
Trees are
to
starting to
May.
bloom.
huh?
Yeah, the trees are starting to bloom. I haven't been over there since Halloween.
But now's we do have vernal pools over there, and it was a rainy year, so we might have an extra nice
Yeah.
bloom.
Yeah.
So I would recommend that everybody
Go take a look.
It's a nice walk, and the county, or the state did a bridge down there,
That bridge is nice.
and there's a lot of other walks that you can go from there.
Oh, and real quick, Josephine Van Ness, Professor Josephine Van Ness, she's
Yeah.
passed away now a number of years, but she did the environmental report for
The state,
the state and for Orangevale. There's over 88 different kinds of flowers growing in that preserved area that is next to Norma Hamlin Park. 88 different kinds of flowers, and she and her group went down there and did all of them, including the flowers near the cave. I won't tell you where the cave is, but
I'll have to walk that. There used to be a couple of cars that were down there too. I don't know. if
I
they-
think one's still down there. I don't know how it got
But
down
anyway,
there.
get a chance.
Yeah.
It's not a tough walk, you know. It's coming back's a little tougher than going down, but it's, and you end up down on the bike trail down there, so it's a really nice, this is probably one of the nicer times of the year to go over there.
And it's better than the condominiums they were gonna build there.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
All right, so items for next time, we got the park, the pool, and the trail. We're gonna have somebody come talk to us.
In Big Day of Service, we're going to come to
That's
you
not-
with our
We're gonna talk
projects.
about that
Yeah.
next week, or next month
Next month.
too?
Yeah, once we have, they'll determine,
Which one's
yeah, which ones they're going to accept, and then we'll come to you with a recommended budget for those projects.
All right,
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
We're out of here.
Right.
Pretty good.
On your way out, just so you guys know, every Thursday.
You have me to sign
we have
something?
Mushy Love in the classroom.
You have to